I said Kingdom's one of my closest friends. But when I hold a pen, there's no holding back. Yo, I'm going in. My bars have the talents of at least 3 challenges, and I'm going in.
Oh, he choked! He choked!
Oh.
Your bars are hopeless, friend. They're like a leaning backboard with a broken rim, or even like Haggy without cloak or stem. I told you guys, I'm going in. You can't contain Hitch. You can't flip up this brain switch. No, I need to stop, dude.
Come on, Hitch.
It'll
That's
go on
not cool.
forever, man.
Oh.
It'll go on for like 7 minutes.
Oh. Did Keem just tweet at me that I never invited him on the show?
What?
What?
I tweeted out that we were live, and he's like, "You never invite me on the show."
Rip.
So sorry, Keem. Hello, and oh, they're like OMG. They're all over your lines. Why are they saying who is that? Oh, because of goalie. They're panicking.
Yeah, they're panicking. I'm not here.
So,
Okay?
we decided to pull back. What is it in The Wizard of Oz? We decided to pull back the curtain and let you guys see that although I'm a talented individual, I'm not really goalie and kingdom. You know, like I'm not 2 people. It's kind of like the what was the you know, Kyle from Old School that used to roll with Woody, and people thought it was like FPS Kyle, and people thought he was.
Oh
FPS
yeah, I used to love
Rugby.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not Goalie TV. He's a real person.
I am.
Not an actor that we filled with deceit.
I'm totally just a face.
Goalie is a real person. He really, I don't know how he's producing the show and sitting at his computer at the same time.
I was producing the show from under my desk for a second, Kingdom. I don't know if you guys saw it on stream, but
So talented, just so much talent.
No.
All right, so welcome to the STiKS. Landon is roster mania. He's trying to get his cam on, but maybe he's the new goalie. So, you know, like now, instead of having one invisible face, we have another invisible face. But you know, either way, we'll figure it out. So, welcome to the STiKS. We're gonna open up the show. I didn't send you guys the document, so you don't even know what the opening question is, right?
No, you didn't.
Awesome.
Scumbag.
That's just great. And I don't care. All right. So the opening first of all, I'm not going to give a shout out to Goalie today because you can see him, so he can give himself a shout out. But I will shout out our sponsors, Gamma and Scuff. Use code Kingdom for 10% off Gamma. Use code STiKS for 5% off of your Scuff gaming products. And maybe you can have something that looks like this.
That's so sick.
Ooh.
I've been melting with the ASM1 with this thing. I'm just saying. The new patch, it's my thing. I love it. Somebody just subscribed.
Yep.
At Twombly, did you just resub? Thank you, At Twombly, for your subscription. Welcome to the STiKS fam. People throw some Kingdom Froze in the chat if you can. Kingdom Fro for the sub love. That's my sub love symbol. Welcome to the STiKS fam, At Twombly. All right, so here's the deal. You're going to give your name, any affiliations you have. You guys can see my pinky, right? This is from playing basketball. If anybody doubts my hoop skills, I will post a YouTube video in the chat of me playing basketball. Nevertheless, I can still shoot. I'm playing tonight after the show, actually. So you're going to say your name, your affiliations in the community, and try to remember this. You're going to build a team. You have to have one professional player, one retired professional player, one person from the STiKS fam, that's any of the 11 that are in the STiKS family, and then the last person is a YouTuber. So you got a pro, retired pro, STiKS fam, YouTuber. Pro, retired pro, STiKS fam, YouTuber. And I'm going to make Goalie go first.
Yeah, thanks, Kingdom, as I'm tweeting out the stream. Okay, so hello, Internet. My name's Goalie. I'm the producer of the STiKS. I also run, or I should say help run and manage a website called cod.esportspedia.com, the largest COD esports database on the planet. And then I kind of co-run the STiKS with Kingdom. That's basically me. No affiliations or anything in the community because I'm not good enough to get any sponsors, but that's how it is. I stream about 5 to 7 days on my personal Twitch channel, twitch.tv/goalietv. We stream from about 5 hours a day. Actually thinking about starting a morning stream. I've talked to my stream about this a couple times. But so for my team, so what it was a current professional, retired, a YouTuber, and what else? A STiKS fan member.
No, not a retired YouTuber. A retired professional, a YouTuber, and a STiKS fan.
Okay.
So who's your pro?
Scumpy.
Who's your retired pro?
Rambo. I want Scump
Who's
Rambo.
your YouTuber.
Can I do who's a good pub stomper from back in the day?
You got to pick your own.
Oh, I got a
You're
good
putting
one.
me on the spot. I don't know. We'll go with Mark of J because that's the only person I can think of on the spot. And for STiKS fam member, anyone besides Kingdom Soldier, will do.
I'm better than Landon.
No, you aren't.
That is not true.
1v1.
Well, I would if my
1v1.
internet would be on right now.
Oh,
You can
blame the
1v1 me
internet.
Thursday.
Thursday, 1v1.
1v1 Thursday.
Landon's our guest, confirmed. STiKS. Can I say myself? Hitch is
Sure,
too detrimental
you can say
because
yourself.
I would say Hitch,
doesn't
but
have
he doesn't have an
Xbox.
Xbox One, so
Yeah, he's
I'm
probably
gonna
the
say
best.
myself.
All right, Hitch, you're up next.
Oh, Nanner is amazing.
Oh, sorry.
What's up, guys? Hitch here. But I don't know if I'm gonna do that anymore.
What after
I
Tustin
do.
Timberlake?
What?
Tustin Timberlake.
Tustin Timberlake.
That was your laugh.
Yeah. So my name is Hitch. I do a lot of things for Optic Intel, including media and YouTube videos. Thank you guys so much, by the way, for the support this weekend. We grinded. If I were to build a perfect team out of this weird scenario, mine would be Scump, retired pro, would be. I pretty much retired pro is between Rambo and Big Timer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Big Timer because Scump and Big T already have a chemistry. Well, I guess Rambo does too. So I don't know. I'm gonna still go with Big T.
Okay.
And then YouTuber, I'm going to go with Pomage
Oh,
Whoa.
because anybody that has that good of hand-eye coordination can just crank their sensitivity down, learn a few things, and he's good to go. And then STiKS fam, I don't know. Probably Tommy, because he has such bad internet that they could just host people over from the UK. We could just host.
Rage is going to kill us for not saying him, but
We could just host, destroy everyone.
He's underage. He can't compete at COD Champs.
Oh, roasted. That hurt his heart.
And
He
he can't
cap.
compete at the Gfinity Open either, so rip.
Oh, Landon, you're up.
Okay, so for my team, is this supposed to be like a competitive team, or can this just be whoever I want?
Well, as long as your team can beat Goalie and Hitch's teams, but you got to pick a pro, retired pro, a
Right,
YouTuber,
okay.
and a STiKS.
For my pro, I'm gonna pick Scump, like everyone else.
Wow.
As a retired pro, I'm gonna go with Hitch's answer and say Big T. Not that I don't think Rambo's great, but I think I'd love to have Big T on my team. For a STiKS fan member, I'm gonna say Goalie, because Goalie's actually pretty good.
Dude,
He's better than me.
destroyed goalies so many times.
We've
we tried on Xbox
we've
One.
played
Another
like once
Xbox
on
One.
360.
I literally
I wanna
lost
see
count.
it.
I don't have enough fingers.
Well, I'm gonna drop Goalie.
Billy, do you want me to link the 4-piece? Because I have it.
That was
Oh, that was on
I was
me,
I
too.
was
That-
I was recording that for you.
appreciate that.
You know the only reason you actually have that 4-piece is because I was recording it and streaming for you, Hitch. That's right. Suck it.
Well, since I don't want bad karma and stuff on my team, I'm sorry, Goalie, you're gonna have to be dropped.
Oh!
I'm gonna go and pick up Hitch, and my YouTuber is gonna be the person that brought me into the Call of Duty community, which was Mr. Chris Move. So that's my team right there.
Oh, people probably don't know about Chris Move in our chat.
Yeah, I don't know. Waiting on a new man.
Chris Move is waiting on.
Oh, I should just have PewDiePie on our team. We could just get a sponsor, get rich.
Oh,
and
damn it.
just,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Chris Move, he's good. He doesn't do a lot of Call of Duty, but he still does like basketball stuff.
Yeah.
2K. All right, my name is Kingdom Soldier. do some stuff on the internet, make some videos every once in a while. I watched some Call of Duty this weekend, and I get to talk to the real life person that you now know as Goalie, who was formerly known as a voice in the darkness. And you can use my codes. I really appreciate it if you want to. Thank you for you guys that do. You guys tweet at me all the time. Make sure you tweet at me when you do use my Gamma code. I'll always retweet.
Cheers, man.
I'm gonna say my pro. Dang, if I say Scump, that means he's 4 for 4 from the STiKS fam. Does that mean we're like Optic fanboys?
Well,
I'm
you're
gonna
on
pick
the show.
Shot. No. I'm gonna pick. I want to pick someone with a future, but Scump is just too consistent. And we're playing AW. I'm gonna pick Scumpy. I'm gonna pick Scump, Rambo, YouTuber. Shao is OP. No, I can't pick him. He's a friend of mine. I'll pick. Well, let me go STiKS fam first. STiKS fam. Crush.
I don't have enough fingers for him either, man.
Crush low key is pretty good, and he has an Xbox One. If Hitch had an Xbox One, I might pick Hitch. He could be the quick scorer on our team. And then, gosh, YouTuber is hard to pick. Somebody in the chat cheated and they said Scump for the YouTuber, and they picked Formal for their pro. But that's kind of like because technically I could pick Crim for my YouTuber, but I'm not going to do that. I will pick Woody's gamertag, and I'll just take some of his Minecraft money. All right, so I can't pick a YouTuber. I don't watch Pub Stompers anymore. I don't even know who stomps the pubs.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Except for pros, to be honest. Fearcrats would be good because at least he knows how to play the game. All right. So let's get into the show. We're going to recap the North American Finals, and we're going to talk about Season 2, Roster Mania, do some questions from Twitter, and we have a STiKS announcement. We just have so many announcements flying around this place. And we'll do a quick recap of the North American Finals. I'm sure most of you caught it. So for the top 4, we had Optic, Denial, FaZe Red, and Optic Nation. My first question for you guys is, were you surprised by any of the top 4? Or was this kind of what you expected? Or who didn't make the top 4 that you thought should have, in your opinion? And I'll start with Landon on this question.
To be honest, Optic first didn't really surprise me. Denial placing as well as they did didn't really surprise me. FaZe Red was someone that I really wasn't for sure on because obviously their last performance and whatnot. But overall, ON was really surprising. I didn't think that they would place nearly that high. And I would probably switch them and Envy. Would be how I would have predicted that, but yeah, that was just overall the placings that kind of surprised me. We're probably just ON and NV.
Okay, Goalie.
Obvious. Okay. I predicted both Gaming, Denial, and FaZe Red to make it into the top 3. The only team that I didn't expect was to make it in the top 4 was ON, to be completely honest. I thought that TK or FaZe Black would make it in there, but obviously FaZe Black couldn't even compete the final day. I was really surprised by ON, but I didn't get to see them compete at all for the last 2 weeks before the NA regionals, because I was watching the APAC regionals, I was watching the relegation tournament, I was watching the EU regionals, the BR regionals, all the 2K tournaments. I didn't have time to watch ON. So I didn't expect ON to do well, but that's just because I didn't actually get to watch them play.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you didn't expect them to perform as well, but you haven't been able to keep eyes on them at all.
Exactly.
There's a good point. Go ahead, Hitch.
The thing about ON that people are saying, yeah, they played amazing. They placed really well as well, but it wasn't smooth. The whole tournament was not smooth for them. They didn't play amazing. They played really clutch. They clutched when it mattered, and they pulled out series and round 11 search and destroys and things like that when it mattered.
I also want to point this out. Sorry to cut you off, but they did get 2 forfeit wins.
Yeah,
because
I was gonna say that too.
They got the forfeit win against Relapse, and they got the forfeit win against FaZe Black. So obviously, I didn't get this. None of us got to see the SB versus ON game because it was off stream, and that went to round 11.
Whoever's decision that was. But
they played well against Envy, and that's pretty much the only thing that we can base them off of.
Yeah, they definitely played really well against Envy. Envy's a super solid squad, and they...
Okay. I love Envy, but I think we're continuing to do the same thing with them as a result of their name. Are they, like, let's back up a second. Is Envy really, if you name the top 3 teams in the game right now, would you put Envy in top 3? Or top 4, even? If you name top 4 teams that are playing Call of Duty?
Didn't they come in second in the last tournament?
No. Denial did.
No.
Oh, yeah, you're so right.
Not,
Sorry,
I
I always think Zuma and think Denial.
Well, like, what I'm asking is basically, like,
Denial
got the better end of the Envy trade, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, Denial got the better roster. They work better. 100%. They click together. Now, Envy has struggled. A couple of their players have struggled consistently in the last 2 tournaments. They're not going to settle for not getting top 4. Like, I think it was Parasite that said, I don't know who said it when they came on the STiKS. Maybe it was Merc. But these teams aren't settling for top 8. That's not good enough of a placement consistently. So my guess is, like we said, whatever event it was a Columbus when we said if Envy doesn't get, top 6. I think I said if they don't get top 6, they're switching. And Merc was like, they had it to where if they didn't get top 3, they pretty much were going to change the team. Do you guys think Envy stays together? I know we're saying they're a good squad, but do you think that they stay together if they don't place top 6 at champs?
I'm going to start off, and I think that everyone after champs will change rosters except the top 3 teams, to be completely honest. And then we'll see what the rules are with the season 2 tournament that's going, or the season 2 regular season that's going on then. But if you don't place top 3 at champs, it's kind of like the COD fashion to automatically switch your teams right away. And just switch your teams, try something else up, which and then if they plan on going overseas, I know there's always been issues with Saints traveling out of our country, so I can definitely see them. I definitely see Envy switching rosters if they place top 2.
I agree with Hitch said in the chat that Clayster is the factor. I agree 100%.
Well, someone said Clayster is the X factor. When I think X factor, I think that player that is going to come up clutch when he needs to, which I think is Replays. Replays does that, but Clayster just is always good. Like that's not really an X. He's not really an X factor. Like, he is the factor of the team. Replays is that guy that'll just like do random things sometimes and like really go like clutch out when he needs to.
Who is the in your opinion, who's the A factor in Optic Gaming? Hitch.
The A factor?
Yeah, your A factor thing you just made up. Okay, I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's hard to say.
What do you mean by A factor? Like, what do you mean exactly? Like that.
Like the backbone of the team.
Consistently dominant person. Consistently dominant. Like,
yeah, I'd say him or.
And I think for AW, yeah, I'd say Scump. You said Landon. What'd you say? Formal?
Well, because I noticed Scump. I mean, Scump had obviously was really good at this event, but there were some times where, like in some of the games that we saw, he wouldn't do the best for his team. Which I know normally he's like the most consistent player in AW, but he had some rocky times. But for this event, I think that Formal was the person that really did consistent the whole way through. But I agree, Formal for once and normally Scump. Yeah. But
even in his rocky times, overall, Scump was one of the best players this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, he never went negative, but
Yeah, I mean that's he's that good. It's like, oh yeah.
If you're having a rocky event and you never go negative, he's the A factor. I'm sorry, man. Like.
All right, so let me list off real quick: Optic Gaming, Optic Nation, FaZe Red, Black, Revenge, Denial, Below Zero, Prophecy, Automatic Reload, Orbit, 3SUP. I don't even know how to say that.
3SUP.
Team Invis, 3SUP.
Threes up.
Up.
Yeah.
Okay, they need a team name change if you're watching.
Logo change too, please. Please.
Team Invis, Team Caliber, and SB. Was there anybody who you guys thought was going to qualify that didn't, or anybody that did that you were kind of like, what? Kind of shocked? I guess I'd have to say 3SUP. I'm surprised that they qualified. I don't know their roster or anything about them.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Below Zero qualified.
Over Rise Nation or just in general?
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
Both.
He said, "Or yes." Yeah, Rise had a rough going. I mean, to be honest, like when I saw the teams, I was like, "Duh." This was mostly one of those. I mean, a lot of the events these days are turning out that way, where it's kind of obvious which teams are going to end on top, which is the reason why I think the league, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but I think the league is they should just keep it consistent. And I guess I'll pitch my how to fix the league in a minute when we talk about it, but we'll stay on topic. So
the only I'm gonna cut in because the only other team that I think that I was surprised that could have made the top 14 was Stunner.
True.
Stunner
Yeah, I would say Stunner. Yeah,
because that was Vexed, Perplexed, Legal, and Fears. I'm surprised that
definitely qualified over Threes Up.
Yo, Kingdom's a low-key Threes Up hater right here. It's not about the Threes Up.
I want to point out something really fast. I've actually casted over Below Zero, and actually, what is it? Boreal?
Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
thank
Boreal.
you. Goalie likes to fix that. But anyway, I casted over them both, and it was interesting because whatever. The B team, I don't know. They completely dominated Below Zero, and Below Zero ended up qualifying. So I know they didn't play each other, but still, like
Boreal didn't play well. I mean, I watched that. I remember when I watched you cast that, and somebody was in the chat telling us exactly how to say it. They were like accusing us of bad French or whatever language that is.
I have no idea.
Boreal.
I never took French. I have no idea.
But you should name your team something that anybody can say when they read it. I'm just saying. Just saying. All right, so Landon, you want to kind of talk to us about what you thought were the best series this weekend?
I think honestly, a lot of the Optic series. I'm not just saying Optic because it was Optic, but they had some really good series versus like TK. They had a really good game versus Envy. Obviously the ON versus SB game, which went really far, but we never saw that on stream, like I said. But we heard it was a really good game. There were some other really good series, but to me, my favorite series of the entire tournament wasn't just because it's Optic, but was Optic versus FaZe Red, just because of the amount of hype that really went into that game. Like Twitter was flowing, the casters were really excited, and obviously the first game, FaZe Red took the first game, and that Optic even dropped the entire tournament. So the only map that they lost was the FaZe Red. But to me, that was the most hyped series that everyone was waiting for, including me. But it lived up to expectations. But to me, that was like the best series. There's a lot of really good series on the B stream that went to like 3-2, but no one really saw those, because most people were watching Alpha. But those are basically the top ones. But to me, it was like I said, Optic versus FaZe Red.
I didn't watch B once. Hitch, do you think is Optic? Is it unentertaining to have a team be this victorious, or
no?
I mean, okay, go ahead. So, in your opinion, it'd be better. It'd be at Champs. If they didn't drop a single map, that would be pretty entertaining, rather than going, having some 3-2s and almost getting knocked out and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, it's not. Yes, they only dropped one map, but they went to round 11 3 times?
Yeah.
Twice?
Yeah.
3 times? And then they also cut it close a few times on some other maps. It's not like, they did destroy some people, but it wasn't like they didn't destroy everyone every single map. It was still entertaining. It's just like Complexity. Complexity had even from the first event on Ghost, they barely won. So many times they barely won. They almost got knocked out by FaZe at UMG Philly. So many times, they just barely won, but that they won, and that's what matters, and that's why they were dominant. So it's not
even
I don't think
Black Ops 2, yeah. Black Ops 2 is really popular, and Complexity was winning basically everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's not I don't know.
So it's a good thing for the sport.
Going to be entertaining. Yeah. It's always going to be entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that it's the most loved team in the game.
Yeah. That's why I think them going, if they did go undefeated at COD Champs, I would be ridiculously shocked. But towards the end of that run, you'd be watching with your, you'd be on the edge of your seat to see if somebody could beat them. Yeah. And then the big thing would be who can take a map off Optic. I mean, that's going to be a big deal. If they go undefeated in pool play or something and they don't drop a single map, and it's really going to be, and I think the best we've ever seen in pool play since that system from last COD Champs, I think the best we've seen is a team lost 2 Goalie may be able to correct that, but I think the least we've seen a team win or lose in a pool play is 2. And I think it was Denial and FaZe at the first event of this year. I don't remember, but I'm just going off the top of my head.
Can I do something? Can I do something?
Yes.
Big homie RW0008 said Hitch is saying no because he's an Optic fan. Haha, it wasn't entertaining when Complexity did it. Well, it was entertaining when Complexity did it, because if you remember the very first Ghost tournament, they won off of it went to the last map versus TK. Is that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was a smash, like they won 6-1 on Octane, but the rest of that series was extremely entertaining.
Yeah. Like Clayster got a quad feed at one point, and then Neslo also capped with capped a blitz portal with like negative seconds left on the map, and then also, if you remember, UGC Niagara, they actually lost right at the beginning, and then they just sweep through so like all these things, like they are entertaining, and going back to Optic, if you remember, at UMG they barely got out of their pool. Like they got 3-0'd by Team Revenge, this no name nobody team.
Pittsburgh's gonna have.
I know, that's why I said it. They got 3-0'd right off the bat, and then they ended up somehow coming back. So it's not like they're just sweeping through everybody and it's not entertaining. Like they're always going to be like they're always going to be entertaining.
They are that. I mean, they won this event. They won. They've won 3 in a row. They are that team. Is there even like? Is anyone willing to say that there's another team that even could win champs, or is it kind of like in the bag?
Oh, FaZe Red could win champs.
Well, there's a couple teams that win champs, or that could have the possibility of winning champs, but it's just Optic has found a way to edge them out every single time. Yeah. Except Columbus. Optic has found a way to beat every single team. Like, all these matches, like, some of the finals... Actually, both the finals, it was last 2, Optic versus Denial. They were all close maps. Like, it's not like it was a 3-0 and they won by like 100 points on hardpoint. It's like, I can't even remember. What was the score of the hardpoint? Let me actually pull it up. The last...
They won only by like 4 or 5.
Yeah, like...
Yep, they almost came back. I think it was 211 to 201 or something like that.
Like, one hero play, and Denial has a 1-0 series lead versus Optic. Like...
Yeah,
like
they still lose.
I'd be curious. I'd be curious to see if they lost the first series versus some. Like, obviously they lost to FaZe Red that first series, and FaZe Red like got a lot of momentum and beat them again. But I'm curious if like had they lost that first series to Denial, if they would have won the second one.
You mean the first? The first grand final series.
Yeah, for the grand final. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
so I'm curious how momentum based that would be.
That's a good question. This team has just I've said it since they won their first event, which was the second event of the year, that they're looking Complexity-esque, and I still get a lot of hate, but I think I'm just going to stick with that statement. I said they would win 1 of the first 3. I didn't know that they'd have won 3 of 4 at this point. I didn't see that. I didn't think they were that good. If they win champs, I'll laugh at anybody who says that I'm wrong for saying that they have a chance of, being like a Complexity and winning, 70-80% of the events this year. If they stay together, unless you pull some random new player out of the air, like there's got to be a combination that I think Denial's a good combination of players that has potential. FaZe Red is a good combination of players. But if Optic proves that those teams can't beat them either, then everybody else is going to be like Ake said 2 years ago. Everybody else is going to be switching rosters to beat a team, and they're still going to get second.
Yep.
And it's this Optic team. If they ever placed out a top 2, I'd be like, okay, what happened? Who messed with whose girl? Like, what's going on? Who was wearing whose T-shirt when they woke up in the morning? What kind of prank was pulled? Like, I would be shocked. It would have to be a composure issue, not a gameplay issue. If you had these 4 players finish 3rd or 4th, I'd be like, especially at champs, I'd be like, okay, now this is like the envy curse, but it's the 3rd place Optic curse. Like, I don't know. I would just be kind of shocked, just to be honest with you guys, if that happened, if they placed outside of top 2. So. Denial made a ridiculous losers bracket run. Landon.
Not even.
Now, people have been saying to me, "Oh, you remember? The first couple of games they played were the really sucky teams, and so." But Landon, do you want to list off? I know you have it, like who they actually beat in their LB run.
Well, I don't really have the list in front of me.
I have it in front of me. If you want me to help.
Thank you.
Okay, so
if you would, yeah.
they get they lost to Revenge 3-0 in winners.
Who was
so
that?
Then they
Like that pickup team?
no Revenge.
Yeah.
So
that.
Yeah. The pickup team. They went into losers, played XGN. Then they 3-0'd XGN. Then they 3-1'd Rise, 3-0'd Prophecy, 3-1 TK, and then they 3-0'd Revenge. So they got their revenge on Revenge, but.
I was really surprised by the TK game. That to me was a toss-up.
I'm gonna see if I can pull the bracket up on screen, guys.
And I want to shout out to TK. I know they didn't place as well as they actually did, but they lost to the two teams that were in the finals. They both lost to Optic. I mean, they lost to Optic and they lost to Denial. So I think TK still should be rightfully up there. But
TK, they're the type of Goalpedia. Goaliepedia. That's funny.
Truth.
TK is one of those teams that how they play. They got 8th. Really?
Yeah, they got 8th, but TK lost to the two teams that took 1st and 2nd at the event.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing about TK. Their bracket is starting to determine where they land, and they can beat an Envy. They can beat a FaZe Black. They can beat an ON. But when they run up against a Denial or a FaZe Red or an Optic, they find themselves in trouble. I think for them, I'd be focused on beating those teams. Like, I wouldn't worry much about the teams that are like at their level as far as where they place, but I would do everything. I'd get scrims from Optic Gaming as often as humanly possible, or FaZe Red, like some of these powerhouse teams, because you don't think of TK as a powerhouse, but you do think of them as a top team because they find a way to consistently, even if it's a losers bracket run like Denial did, they find a way to get to the top. So I think TK has a good roster, but it's unfortunate when they land a bracket that just sucks. And it's like you look at it and you're like, oh, TK's not going to finish very well. All right, so last question about NA Finals before we take our first commercial break and continue on in the show is who was your guys' MVP? Now, I can give you the Clayster and Scump stats if you'd like them, but if you think it's
I would love
else
to hear the Scump
outside-
stats.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear the Clayster stats. People are sleeping.
All right,
Clayster
so
stats.
Clayster, 1.33. I'm going to say that he's number 1. People are saying that the two different stats houses have two different levels, but I'm going to agree with, I think it was underscore stats that tweeted out that he was number 1, because I don't know if their apathy stopped playing at a certain point. Like, he literally just, and who knows what he would have ended up having at the end of the day. It looks like there's a possibility that App had a 1.34 compared to Clay's 1.33. But I'm just going to say he had the number 1. He played more matches than anybody else that was at the top. And so he had number 1 KD with 1.33. He was 3rd in slaying with 33.6. And he was the A factor, as Hitch said. He was the clutchest person on his team. Scumpy had a 1.31 for the number 3 KD. He was 1st in slaying with 34.75. And this stat that Landon found is utterly ridiculous. You've heard it here first.
I'm going to cry.
Scumpy's KD on CTF Ascend, which Optic played at least twice, was a 3.14.
Jesus. Good Lord.
Tweet it out. Tweet it at Scump. 3.14 kill-death ratio on CTF Ascend, and they played it more than once. That is utterly ridiculous. Now, my question for you guys, and I'll start with Hitch, is who was your MVP of the event?
MVP of the event would have to be Clayster.
Okay.
Clayster had a 1.33 kill-death ratio, and he played 34 maps.
That's
He
ridiculous.
played
34
twice
maps.
He played twice as many maps as Scump did,
Oh my god.
and had a
Wait, did you say
1.33.
34?
34 maps.
34.
Yeah.
I'm tweeting at him. I don't even care.
34
That's ridiculous.
maps? You kidding?
That-
34.
That's all I have to say, man.
That's ridiculous.
That doesn't make sense, dude.
Oh man.
That doesn't. How do you maintain that, dude?
That's wow. All right, goalie, who's your MVP?
Well, after that, I'm gonna follow the trend and say Clayster for the exact same reasons that Hitch did. But yeah, I was gonna pick like I was gonna go with
Goodness.
oh man, I don't even remember who I was gonna pick anymore. I have comp cod stats pulled up, and I don't even remember who I was gonna pick anymore. So yeah, Clayster.
34 maps. Landon, what's yours? Holy crap.
You know, I was like kind of debating, and I was thinking about like which one I would really choose, because I think Scump is really solid all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But after playing 34 maps,
My goodness.
But like overall, like looking at how each team played, Denial really relied on Clay, like overall, and I think that Optic was more of a solid type. Like you could honestly pick like players who did really well in what series, like Nade sometimes, Formal sometimes, Krim, and obviously Scum. But overall, the most valuable player that was like really helped their team has to be Clayster. It really can't be. It's not even to me like a contest. Like Scum could arguably be kind of there,
roboting.
But no,
He's fine on my end.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh, okay, but yeah,
You're
Clay to
roboting
me.
Landon.
Shut up, Kingdom.
Clay. Sorry, that's my choice.
Hello, Kingdom.
Can you guys hear me?
Hello? Yeah, jeez.
Yes, we can hear you.
That's quiet.
Oh, rip. Oh no.
Oh.
Okay, boys, we're just gonna go to the nothing screen for now. But
Can I just spit my bars now?
yeah, go.
Are we spitting bars? Do y'all want to hear the entire Kingdom? Press 1 in the chat if you want to hear the entire Kingdom round. Press 2 if you want me to just shut up and not do anything.
Press 2 for.
Because if you press 2, I just won't do it. I'll just be like, well, all right, that's fine. We have differences. We just won't. We just won't even talk about it. But if not, if you press 2, we'll just run a commercial.
We're gonna end up running a commercial anyways, but we're gonna let Hitch do his thing.
All right, man. I guess I'm gonna do this.
You want to beat?
Nah, I got it. Now, Kingdom's one of my closest friends, so I apologize, but when I hold a pen, there's no holding back, yo. I'm going in. My bars have the power of at least 2 ratchets, and I'm scoping in. I'll leave this whole scene tragic. I'm more focused than opening 3 G Fuel packets and pouring into an open soda can mixed with Coke and gin. Your bars are looking hopeless, friend. They're like a leaning backboard with a broken rim. Like your jeans are baggy with holes in them, or even like Haggy without cloak or stem. I told you I'm going in. Nobody can contain Hitch. You can't flip off this brain switch, but since this is a battle, let's get into these name flips. Kingdom's done. I'm knocking him back to Kingdom Come. Mission to Port King. Get rid of him before he starts crying. Mission abort, King. If you come up to my dock short, King, you gonna get smoked. You better find a new port, King. Should I stop or should I keep going?
Keep going.
You got bars? All right, then bring them. If you don't, you better find them, Kingdom. You got a click to ride with? You better ride then, Kingdom, because I've got a squad that's ready to give you Ks if you feeling united. Kingdom, Hitch just brings the buzz, more than illegal drugs that you've managed to receive and crush up, seeping into your bloodstream and such, because right now, I've got the power that's equaling up to at least 3 clubs, repeatedly beating Kingdom's femur, leaving him crushed and seeing his knees buckle up. Right now, I've got defenses towering all around me in case I see Kingdom rush. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Bang! Sorry.
Go? All right. All right, Hitch, stop going so hard. Please, Kingdom's soft. He's got heart, but you need to beef up and act like an animal, Kingdom. Gosh, I've got the key to success, so you'll feel goofy when my bars soar all over your meager thoughts. Basically, I'm using this key to break down Kingdom's hearts. God!
Ooh.
Commercial break.
Hello, and welcome back to the STiKS. Where did you guys end when I...
We just basically ended as soon as you got here. Like, as soon as you left, we ended and Hitch started rapping, so...
Was literally... like you ended, and then I was like, all right, I'm rapping. 2
I like the
seconds
last
after.
part. Kingdom Hearts.
By the way, guys, you can't see Kingdom on stream yet. I am working on fixing that right now. So.
I
How are they
named
gonna see me?
Well,
I named him
you can't see him at all. But
Yeah, we can't see you at all.
I don't think they're going to be able to either.
Yeah. I'm
All right, so we ended picking MVPs.
Yeah.
Everybody picked Clayster. And I'm going to say Clayster as well, but only because I'm going to pick like I would an NBA MVP. So, like,
Yes,
in the NBA, the MVP, like LeBron James got the MVP, I think 2 times or 3 times before he won a championship. And so, because they always pick the MVP before the playoffs. And so I think that if you count, one of you said that how Clayster carried his team and to where he carried them, even though they got second, you know, without Clayster, they wouldn't have gotten second. And so I think he has to be the MVP with 34 maps and a 1.33. That's utterly ridiculous. That just means he slayed like a monster and was kind of untouchable. So I'm going to say Clayster all dayster. All right. So, did I miss anything? Anything you guys want to add about?
Oh, you missed
you did miss something.
What did I miss?
You'll see it on the rerun, dude.
I heard you guys giggling.
We're making a little snippet is what's gonna happen. It's gonna be it's gonna be uploaded to the STiKS Live YouTube channel, youtube.com/ oh wait, we don't have the URL. Oh, rip. It's down below in the description, okay?
What happened? I can't wait to go back and see this.
Oh, man.
All right. So there were a lot of 3-0s. We didn't mention that, but before we talk about the season 2 kickoff, I think Landon, there was 65 matches total, and 32 of them were 3-0s. Right?
Right. Yes.
So that's basically 50%. Right?
And there were only 5 3-2s, I think. I think that's right.
That's crazy. 5 3-2s in the entire tournament.
Was there ever a 3-2 on main stage? Or was there just 3-1? Was there ever one of those 5 were any of them ever on main stage?
Oh, now you're making me think about the 3-2 that I didn't get to see.
I think there was a 3-1.
Killa versus Fizz.
Oh, you're so salty about that.
I'm very salty. Like praline crackers from the supermarket. I'm super salty. Like, what the heck, man? I mean, just seriously.
The stream was over for the night. That's what happens. Like,
our stream is over?
No. The MLG stream was over for the night.
Oh, okay. I'm giving you guys the before I continue on. I'm giving you guys this document just in case I disappear again. Wait, where did I put it? Oh crap!
What did you say? Owen versus SB? Never mind.
Wait, what did you say? A stat?
Yeah.
Sure.
At the end of day 2, so this isn't the entire tournament, this is just at the end of day 2, 49.1% of all matches ended in a 3-0.
At the end of day 2?
At the end of day 2.
Yeah.
And there were more 3-0s day 3. But I don't know if it maintained dang near close to 50%. And that's not including forfeits. If forfeits are included, it was above 50%. It was like 52% or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't count them either. Yeah.
Wait, do 3-0 like forfeits count towards your win percentage and stuff?
Yeah, they're counted as 3-0.
Like if you looked at stats, would it look like Optic Nation won 2 3-0s that they didn't even play?
Oh, I don't.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't. No. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I was thinking from the other end, as in losing.
Oh,
but
okay,
I'm not sure.
Okay. I see what you're saying. That makes sense. So Optic Gaming did their thing. They only dropped 1 map. They went 18-1 in map count. That's crazy. Optic won this event with 19 maps played. Clayster got second, and he played 34 maps.
Stupid, man. That's dumb.
And Optic Nade Shot dropped a 40 bomb in the first match of the event for Optic. I mean, what more could you ask for, right? My pinky. Oh my god.
And we got to see a cupcake dual wielding pistols.
Oh,
Yo.
oh my gosh. I just hurt my pinky. Oh,
You're fine.
you don't understand.
I
But
do
so-
understand. Did I not tell you the story? Like,
Yeah, you did. Oh, the 1 and 2 seed for champs aren't going to have any other North American teams in their pools, which is Denial and Optic. So as much as we say that Optic could not lose a match in their pool, Denial could do the same. They could not drop a map. We'll just have to see how they do. Either way, I would guarantee that Denial and Optic are both going to win their pools. You guys can still hear me, right?
yes.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Okay.
Yeep.
Ha ha ha, whoever you are. Ha
A
ha.
kingdom.
I'm on 4G. Can mess with my Skype all you want. Okay, anyway. So Season 2 kicks off supposedly tomorrow. We have not seen a schedule,
My internet's back on. Sorry.
correct? anybody seen the
I can
schedule
check
for
the
tomorrow?
MLG events right now, but yeah, I haven't seen anything. I don't know if they announced one on the ESR today because I don't watch ESR. But
Whoa, detriment.
it's.
Landon watches.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. Regular season schedule. We have a schedule.
Oh,
Victory.
who plays tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's already up.
Oh my god. It's
plays
like
tomorrow?
last. Oh my god, it's like last season. So like last season, there's gonna be 4 matches at a time, and there's matches
Who
Friday
played?
too. Okay, so tomorrow, starting the MLG Pro League, we have Denial versus Optic Gaming. Team Envious versus Elevate. I'm actually gonna throw the schedule in the chat, guys. Automatic
Denial
Reload
versus
versus Rise Nation. FaZe versus TK.
Which phase? Oh wait, never mind. FaZe Black isn't in the league.
Elevate versus Denial, then TK versus AR, and then we have Rise versus Envy, and Optic versus FaZe.
So whoa. Optic Gaming plays FaZe Red and Denial
Optic
tomorrow?
Gaming has the hardest day 1 schedule you could ask for.
Damn.
Has the hardest online day 1 schedule you could ask for. Like, what is that?
This is gonna be great.
Guys, my internet's working. I'm so happy.
For now.
Sorry.
For now.
Oh man, I can't even get on the. I can't see Twitch. I can't.
Oh man, I have a lot of work to do tonight.
So, well, this is good, I guess. Do you guys think that, like, all in all,
There's
do you
only-
guys think that this distracts from COD champs at all?
Yes. 110%.
Hitch? Do you think we should have waited?
For
Is Hitch
what?
there?
Should we have waited to start season 2 until after
COD
champs?
champs?
Probably.
Like
But I think they have it organized.
I understand that MLG wants constant content and constant viewership going to their site, but this is just going to confuse Call of Duty fans even more.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
just have the pro teams play in the GB tournaments. They are already doing that. We don't need a pro
Yeah.
league right now. The pro
That's
league.
goalie. If the thing is posted, does it tell you on there when the roster lock is?
Roster rules. Let me go through them real quick. No wait, this looks like
Because-
it's.
One of the things we were talking about, Hitch, is that, like, FaZe Black, SB have open rosters right now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Season 1 championship teams, the 8 must submit a season 1. Okay. Must submit a season 1 championship roster of 4 play. Wait. What? This. They either did the. Okay. Substitutes can be added. Okay, so it was. Oh no, wait. Those were the roster. Okay, so that's when playoffs were. All teams must have at least 4 players by 5 p.m. EST, which it's EDT now. So good job. On 3/10, including at least 2 players who competed in the COD AW Season 1 Championship. So 2 of the players have to had played in the playoffs, and then it sounds like they can have whoever else they want. And substitutes can be added to the starting lineups on the 23rd, we're already past that. We're already way past that.
23rd of this month,
23rd
right?
of February. Like these rules are.
But wait, when is the roster? There's no roster lock at all.
They
can
not
trade
that
whenever they want.
There's from the page that I'm on. There is no roster lock.
Okay, so there is going to be, and I don't want to blend too much into the next topic, but it's kind of inevitable. But there is, in my opinion, there's going to be a roster mania when Censor and Classic and Mochilla are unbanned and they can play in the league. Because currently they can't play GBs, 2Ks, 5Ks. Basically, they can only scrim until after champs. And when they're free agents, especially if they place high at champs, then you have the SB roster as well that's not in the league. And as much as I would love for, Jay to be able to keep his team, for Friggy to be able to keep his squad, this has happened to him before where they weren't, he lost his whole roster to FaZe Black, ironically, which just the 2 teams that aren't in the league right now. I could see teams that are in the league, like think about the Justice Pro roster. No offense to Methods and whoever else he's playing with, but when you have free agents like that have won championships recently, that's kind of hard to just like Censor and App. It's kind of hard to just leave those guys out there, Apathy did great this weekend at this event. He had the highest KD, kind of. You can't see the air quotes that I'm throwing up, but I'm almost guaranteeing that there's going to be a ridiculous roster mania post champs, and I feel sorry for the players that are playing in the league for these next 3 weeks that are going to basically be dropped. They're going to be made subs. Go ahead.
I was just pointing out, and especially the 2 teams that aren't actually going to be in Season 2 are FaZe Black and SB. Both have really good rosters, in my opinion, so that's going to be another big deal because, FaZe Black, obviously, Censor App, Proof, even, and they have really good players, so that's something else that could possibly, add into the madness of Roster Mania. Hashtag Roster Mania,
So, to all of you, I've pitched this maybe to Goalie only, but here's my question. Are we at a point in competitive Call of Duty where we can just make a league that stays the same all year? Like the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, every game that exists at this point. Are we at a point where we could just make a 12-team league or even a 16-team league and then have an amateur league that runs concurrently and individual players can be taken from the little the little league from the amateur league, but are we at a point where we can just keep organizations in place and stop changing names, rosters? I mean, owners are changing complete organizations, and you have whole rosters being dropped, and then you don't even hear of the team that they were on anymore, like Noble, And so, I guess my what I would like to see, hopefully, maybe for the next Call of Duty, is a consistent season where I can be a fan of an organization like the Lakers or the Bulls or the Clippers, like where I can be a fan of an organization and they're going to have their ups and downs as they change rosters, but they're always going to be in the league. Like, do you guys think that would be a bad thing? Should we keep doing what we're doing and I made this point to Goalie as an analyst, and let's just go beyond me because, I don't get to watch as much. Goalie helps run a wiki for Call of Duty, and he has a hard time keeping up with rosters.
Helps run, I run it.
Yeah, I know. I just am trying to give some clout to whoever else helps you. But I, in my opinion, that's a problem. Like, I don't know how Benson and Matt and Puckett keep up with any of these rosters. They probably have a team of people that keep them up to date, but you have to check the rosters almost every day to find out where people are at and, where these teams are. And so I kind of want to get your guys' opinion. Do you think we can have a league like that, or should we keep it the same way it is?
Do you want me to comment, or do you want to let other people go first?
You go. I don't know the logistics behind it.
Okay, well, I think that A year-long league. No way in HCL double hockey sticks. That's
Oh,
not happening.
That's a long time.
That's not happening. Especially with how the current league is formatted. No way in happening. I think we need 3 seasons, but the seasons need to be longer and there need to be less matches. 110%. Doing 44 matches. So the season 2 of the COD League. It's in a 2-month time span, and we have champs in the middle of it. And each team plays 44 matches.
When's UMG Cali? Is that going to be in it as well?
I don't even know. I don't even know the dates of UMG Cali right now off the top of my head.
But May 5th,
so there are 8 matches played a night, and we get matches probably 4 to 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
That's 32 matches a week, right? 32 to 40 matches a week. That's that's way too many. That's way too many for people to keep up. When I live tweet for COD Sportspedia, because I do a lot of the live coverage. I will have on my left monitor, I have 1 box, 2 box, 3 box, 4 box. I cover 4 streams at one time. That's
good thing you have good internet.
Yeah, right now it is. And it doesn't make one. I think there's way too many matches going on at one time right now. I don't understand. I know they want to bring consistent content. That's the whole idea of MLG.TV. Get consistent content, get consistent ads. But there's too much content. There's way too much content for people to consume, and I want a league. I think having 44 matches in a season is fine. I'd like less. I'd like maybe 22, 33 per team in a season. But I want the season to be 3 months, 4 months. I don't want a 2-month season that has 44 matches for each team. That doesn't make any sense. I understand they want the content for MLG.TV, and that's the entire point of the MLG Pro League. But right now, there's just way too much. There's other ways they can get that content. And also part of the problem, we have 2 Optic teams in the league. That means that 3-4 nights out of the week,
Goalie hates
Optic Gaming is playing. So that means no. That means that Optic Gaming is playing, which means that the other teams that are playing in the league are going to get absolutely 0 views. When TK is playing FaZe and Optic Gaming is playing a random league team, Optic Gaming is going to get 4 times as many viewers as the TK FaZe match. And that TK FaZe match may be 10 times a better game. But it doesn't matter, because we have Optic playing on way too many nights, too. I love Optic Gaming, and they're good for the community, but having a league where they play every single night doesn't make, where one of their teams plays every single night, doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. It's gonna be. I understand as of now that's gonna go over really well for viewership, because every night you have a consistent game, and that's what they're going with it. It makes sense, but as if you had 2 days back to back where neither Optic team plays or whatnot, then that's gonna, people are gonna still go into that. Go in looking for new teams, or go in looking to watch, and they're going to watch different teams, and that's how you build up a generic fan base for esports.
One of the things,
and people are going to say, people are going to say it doesn't matter who is playing, because they're going to go and watch Nadeshot and then stream on their personal streams, which is true. People that are Optic fans are going to go watch that, but there are people that just tune in just to watch competitive.
Yes.
And every single time Optic Gaming or Optic Nation is playing, it's going to be on stream, and it's going to be on the main MLG stream, and that's what people are going to watch. So if more teams have the ability to go through that main stream that is being casted by Mr. X, by Puckett, then that's going to build up more of a generic fan base, which is what we all need.
So here's a suggestion that I gave to Goalie. I know you're watching Puckett. I know you secretly watch. Our show is so good that you just can't. You have to watch it. So here's a suggestion that I told Goalie. I understand what MLG is doing when they upload 17,000 videos a day, when they chop up the ESR into topics. People want to, if people want a certain topic, they can just click on it. At the same time, because of all the confusion, I feel like it would be best if, like old school, when there was one ESR and you would look for that. Like, I wish that they would take one of the ESRs throughout the week that they're going to focus on making the, like, culmination. And even if it's on Friday, and then they take that entire show and do what we do. Like, upload the whole thing in one long 1.5 to 2 hour video, and let someone who wants to see all of what happened in Call of Duty that week sit down and watch it. And I think we'd have less confusion from even pro players who are tweeting. They don't know when when do I play? What's the bracket? Who do I play in losers tomorrow? Blah, blah, blah. They're asking so many questions, and there's so many resources out there, whether it's Codpedia, whether it's articles that you guys write at Intel, or their own website, like whatever it is, or they've said it on ESR, but nobody can find it. Like, I just wish that there was a culmination of things at the end of the week where I could find out, and even if I had to sit there and stare at, Matt, Benson, and Puckett for an hour, where I could just watch the whole thing and get a good recap, where I felt like sometimes I find myself watching your videos, Hitch. A lot of the times it's because I'm looking at the topic and I'm like, well, I'm supposed to know what's going on, and tweets are not doing it for me. And so let me watch Hitch's recap of the event so that I can figure out what the heck is going on. So that's just my opinion. I think we have a lot to learn, and there's a lot of changes that can be made. I guess at the end of the day, I want to be able to be a fan of an organization for longer than 2 months. That's just my opinion. And then when my favorite player switches to another org, do I follow him, or now am I a fan of no one? It's unless you're an Optic fan, you kind of have to switch teams a lot, because Nade and Scump, or TK. You can be TK, or you can just call it #Sharp all day, or #Nade all day, because Nade and Scump have been on Optic for so long. If you're fans of them, you can maintain being a fan of them. And that's part of the Optic brand that's helped, is that consistency. Whoa, somebody wrote a big, long... Go ahead.
I think out of... we always talk about this, like the fan bases, but I think TK arguably probably has the second biggest fan base out of everyone in the competitive scene. Because you're going to say... People are going to say FaZe, but FaZe is huge on the sniping.
No, I'd say Envy other than TK. I'd say that's who they would compete with, in my opinion, not FaZe. FaZe has a whole bunch of people because they're, they had 1 million subscribers on Twitter before they even started a pro team. I mean, on YouTube before they even started a pro team. I think it's a lot closer than people realize for TK and Envy. I agree. Yeah, I think TK and Envy would kind of go up against each other. Envy, if they don't start winning, then they'll lose steam. Which is the same thing people said about Optic, and then now they're super dominant. So they're just Optic's gonna laugh to the bank this year. They're like, I mean, can you imagine? This org does not only have more Twitter followers, YouTube subscribers than most teams combined. Like, you could take 4 players from most teams and they couldn't stack up against Nadeshot in followers and subscribers. Or Scump, And so Nade has 1.4, I think, 1.5. And so if you look at that and you compare it, even teams with people that upload all the time, like FaZe, and let's use FaZe Black, I guess, as a good example. And, Censor's uploading all the time. He's got a great fan base, but they don't even compare to Scumpy by himself. And these guys are now winning all the events. This is like if Complexity ran YouTube while they were winning. That's what we're getting to see this year, potentially. Is a team that's dominant.
Complexity?
I did. If a team that's dominant in social media, dominant in entertainment, and dominant in gaming. I mean, it's like, holy crap. Hex is having a good time right now. Like, smiling a lot.
Hector's killing it. He's killing it on YouTube as well, man.
That's what
You've seen his videos? They're so entertaining. Because I think now he's just like he has a team that's just like cruising, so he can just chill.
Yeah.
Like he just chill and make awesome
Have those tough
videos.
phone calls like, all right, guys, what are we gonna do?
I know.
And like, let me tell you this: if Optic Nation finishes top 3 at champs and Optic Gaming wins, then we're just like, all right, this is Optic of duty. You know, I mean, they could end up being that dominant, and that's scary. And that's why I think when I say regular league, there's teams that are going to get swept under the rug because they can't keep up with what Optic is doing. And like you guys said, when Optic is streaming, and if there's 8 players on Optic now, and Hex has a stream, like so that Swanee was streaming on when he was here, like if Optic is streaming, then yeah, those other players, they're kind of stuck out of luck, which is why Spacely and Apathy stream in the mornings, and then Parasite will wait until Optic turns off their streams, and he'll start streaming within 10 minutes, and he'll stream late in the evening.
I mean, that's smart. You got to do something. Well, what people need to do is they realize it's not getting done streaming, and I understand streaming is where a majority of the revenue is, but you've got to start uploading content. You've got to start being creative and uploading to YouTube, because there's still money to be made in YouTube. It's just not as much. And once you make money in YouTube and build a fan base, then they're going to come watch your streams. And that's what Optic did, and nobody has done that. Like, Censor has started 100%. Doing it. Apathy has started doing it.
The only thing with that, though, is that not all pro players can be entertainers, though. Like, some pro players are just there to be pro players.
That's true.
So here's the thing. You're both right. Like, the fact of the matter is that being a pro player itself is entertaining. Like, if you're the pro player that you guys know who it is, but I'm not going to say it on stream. But the one pro player that reached out to me for advice on YouTube, their videos may not have been the most entertaining, but because they're a pro, certain people are going to watch them. There's always a little bit of revenue available just because they're a pro. Like, I'm a pro, I play for this team, and if I have any fans, you can watch me on YouTube at blah, 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 blah. The challenge, and shockingly enough, Drifter clearly articulated how difficult it is to stream and work on gaming and work on your strategies and memorize strats for 8 hours a day and have the steam to upload YouTube videos. Like, he communicated that when he was trying to do Evolve competitive just for fun at PAX, and he ended up quitting because his team, they just didn't like each other, but he said it was hard for him to make videos. Like, he finally realized, because when he was working with the Envy guys, trying to get them to upload and make all this content, and they were like, oh, I really don't feel like it right now. He's like, what do you mean? You can make so much money. There's so much potential if you just upload more consistently. And he didn't realize how tiring it is mentally to focus on making your team better. And then he said, this is the reason why you see things like Optic Craft, or you see pro players playing CSGO as soon as their league matches end, or as soon as their scrims end, they go jump on H1Z1, because they're tired of playing Call of Duty. Because when they play it, it's like their job. So they don't want to work anymore. And that's the thing that we have to appreciate about Optic, is those dudes are working harder than everyone else. I don't care what people say about, oh, but they have Optic next to their name. So what? You don't get views if you don't make videos. Period. You got to make videos. And when you see a person like TP who's putting a whole bunch into showing you strategies, or you see a person like Stump who's talking to you about his life, and then he's still doing pub play. I like how Stump is kind of mixing in the pub play on YouTube. And then you have Nate who's making day in the life videos. That is work. It's not as easy as it looks. Oh, he just has to take a camera around and show what him and Optic do. Yeah.
If you've ever uploaded anything to YouTube, that does not look easy. It's taken hours, like a whole day of footage. I was watching Nate Shots, the one where he drives in the car with Krem, like on that racetrack. I was like, he had to have hours and hours of footage, and cutting that it's time consuming, man. Minimum an hour.
H1Z18.
Minimum an hour, and then if you have internet connection or internet like Hitch, where it takes you 3 years to upload a video.
It's horrible. Yeah. That's why if you notice Optic Intel this weekend, and we got all of our videos out minimum 10:30 at night. It's because I have to send my footage to the editor, and in order for me to send my footage to the editor, it takes minimum of probably like 45 minutes to send it. because my
I agree,
internet is so horrible. It's just like
I
there's
agree
so
100%.
many different things.
Big Pork. Big Pork Nation was saying Imboz's YouTube has been gold. Yeah, he's found his niche.
Oh, yeah,
Imbos has found his niche on YouTube. He's that funny dude, and he's found a way to just be himself on camera. And it's when you find a way to be yourself, people will watch that forever. That's genuineness is very contagious, and so it's one of the reasons why Optic does so well is because they just play their own. They don't have to make up a character. You know, Nade can be Nade, Scump can be Scump, and we'll watch it because they're comfortable with themselves. And being really, really popular and known does help make you more comfortable with who you are. I mean, I can't lie. You know, when you're a smaller YouTuber, you may have a hard time. But all right, so. Oh my gosh, I have a limited amount of time, Goalie.
Yeah, it's my fault for bringing us on that path of conversation. We kind of started with the season 2, and I took it a different direction than it probably should have gone. But
no, yeah, it's perfectly fine. It's good for us to talk about because that's an important topic. But I my internet's happening again. But 4G for the win or whatever I'm on. I want to at least get some of the questions from Twitter done, but here's the problem: I can't open them.
Did you send them to me via DM?
I sent them all to you via DM.
Okay.
Because I can't. My internet's done right now, so I can't.
I have.
Oh wait, let me try. I'm gonna try to do the one from Louis. Nope. Yeah, I can't.
Louis.
Loggy.
I think I have.
If you start at the top and go down, it'll.
I'm on TweetDeck, so it's bottom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because TweetDeck is the top, isn't it? For the. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, just grab one or whatever. I want to at least get some done. If you can't put them on the screen, it's all good. I know you're multitasking.
I'm good. Whenever you are.
Yeah, go ahead. You got to ask them.
Oh, okay. Damn. Okay, so the first question from Twitter is from this guy. Do you think Krim could pass STiKS in championships without losing a LAN event?
How far behind is he? I know he's like a couple, like
Two.
a handful. Two? I thought it was like 3 or 4. Okay.
Yeah. He's at.
So they have to win champs and UMG, and he'd be tied.
Yeah.
If they stay on the same team, or if Krim, not saying that Optic will leave, but if something.
Whoa, Landon.
I just entered into.
Oh no, please, can we save that for another day?
Either way, I think that he will definitely pass STiKS. No offense, unless STiKS can find a more dominant team. Not that this team isn't dominant, or at least they nailed down chemistry. To me, 2 more events, they've won 3 out of the last 4. Like. You can't really not say it. Like I said, unless something were to come up, unless we see another team, which could possibly happen with rosters and stuff changing, I'm definitely going to be on my grind for roster mania and stuff. But, to me, I definitely think that it can happen, in my opinion.
Did you guys see this tweet?
Which tweet?
COD Champs will see a new map in rotation.
What?
Havoc DLC.
Who?
No way.
Who tweeted that?
Call of Duty Esports that has 680,000 followers.
Oh shoot, COD Esports. Holy. Okay, breaking news, guys. We're having DLC in 2015.
It COD Champs.
New map in rotation. Drift from the Havoc. Okay.
Yo. Oh my god.
It's got to be Hardpoint. Got to be Hardpoint.
It's Drift.
It has to be Hardpoint. Because that's the map with the big, where the B flag, if you play Domination, is literally like up in the tower. All these poor pros.
Crazy.
They got to start playing this in the league then. They have to put this
everyone
in
has to buy the DLC.
Oh, wow.
What a good sales tactic, Activision.
GG's. That's crazy. That's gonna.
Where are you guys seeing this?
I retweeted
Call of Duty.
It on Pedia. I retweeted it on Pedia.
There's a. Okay.
On Pedia?
The AW.
It's called Esports COD. You should definitely follow them, Hitch.
He
I do
follow them.
I do follow them. I just couldn't find it. Y'all just weren't telling me.
Everyone's freaking out on Twitter. Everyone's like, what?
Are the
What?
pros
Is
freaking
Drift?
out?
Is it a good map?
I've played it. It's a weird map.
I like it.
It's,
Yeah, it's weird, but it's
From-
entertaining.
okay, I should
Very
have
close.
I would have predicted.
The...
Very close. I hope it's not S&D, because that would be
No,
annoying.
it better not be S&D.
But it has a map effect on it that there's a snow avalanche that comes at the back, and that's one of the hard points it actually runs into. It has to be hard point in my opinion. I don't think you can play CTF on this map, or I wouldn't want to play Search on it. I think it would have to be a hard point map. But why would they put in another hard point?
What about Uplink?
We'll have
I haven't played Uplink on it. What does the chat think? I can't see the chat.
the DLC map.
I love this idea, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. It'd be the first time that we've seen it.
But why at Champs?
It's Champs.
Why'd they have to
Yes.
do this now? Like,
So this will
Somebody
only be a
tweeted
Champs.
me.
It's not going to be.
All of us are going to our own organizations and talking in the middle of the sticks.
Yo, this dude tweeted at me and said, "Bro, it's been 5 days and no bids from you. I'm struggling to live." Oh, that's so funny. All right, let me
let's go.
respond.
Kadi Sportspedia just tweeted out victory.
Will that be in season 2 rotation of maps? If it's gonna
I
be-
just asked that.
I hope
I asked
so.
that at MLG. It has to
Holy.
be.
Okay, I'm gonna bring the
It can't
article
not
on
be.
stream, boys. So
do
that
that.
so that everyone in the stream can see it, and so that we can read it. Just give me a second to get everything set up. Holy.
Oh. It's going to be CTF and S&D, according to con_stats. They're going to replace Biolab CTF and Recovery S&D.
What?
Recovery S&D? What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
I
can't
mean,
believe Drift. I can't believe Drift S&D is going to be. They have to add this to ranked play, and it's got to go in season
Yeah. So they're
2.
gonna.
Like right now.
Okay, boys, I have it on screen. Okay, so Drift added to the 2015 Call of Duty Championship map rotation. Drift from the Havoc DLC pack has officially been added to the map rotation at the 2015 Call of Duty Championships presented by Xbox. Blah, blah, blah. Here are the maps and game modes that will be changed with the addition of Drift. Biolab, yeah, this is what COD Stats tweeted out, but Biolab/CTF will be replaced with Drift/CTF. Recovery/S&D will be replaced with Drift/S&D. Wow.
What?
What
was? I thought that
I
Recovery
need
S&D was
to.
fine.
I need to. We're gonna get out of this because I need to. Oh, hello.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
mean-
beautiful picture of the map because I need to.
What's up with all this tweeting? MLG says we're happy to announce a partnership with CEVO that includes $135,000
CEVO
in prize.
League. That's CS:GO. That's CS:GO League.
So CS:GO is moving. Yeah. Wow. What do you guys think?
I
I
understand
can't.
Biolab CTF.
Yeah, I can't. I really liked Recovery S&D, so I'm not sure about that. But I can't. I don't have an opinion on the map because I've never even heard of this map. To be honest, I don't. I don't
You've
get
never
a lot of
played it.
time. Yeah, I don't get
I
a
played
lot
it
of
a
time.
handful
To
of
It's a lot of. It's Christmassy. It's
Replaced.
Christmassy, and it's a lot of fun.
Wow.
There's a lot of open spaces though that you can get
We'll
into.
replace
Like
Biolab CTF and Recovery S&D.
it's very. How do I say this? Like
See, I guess you can't put it in rank. This guy just made a good point because then people will have to buy
That's
map